Rank 2.0 is 2 seasons in, and boys, we've got some problems. Rank 2.0 might be one of the most controversial changes in R6 history, but with this brand new rank, it could solve literally every problem that it has. Here's the main issue. When Ubisoft created Rank 2.0, they wanted the people who felt like they were stuck in their rank to have the ability to push past it into the next one. This helps the hard-stuck golds with their stressing of being stuck in a gold hell for the rest of your life, which absolutely exists, by the way. I've been there. But this change looks great at first glance because these players throughout the different ranks then get excited to try and rank up and want to play more, and overall it's a smart move for the player base to want to keep playing the game. The problem is that it starts this loop. Coppers can now get bronze, bronzes can now get silver, golds can now get plat or emerald, and so on. So once you get to the platinum and diamond players, you then have the majority of these guys pushing up into champion. And this has caused an extreme overload in the champion rank. On PC last season, there were over 13,000 champions, over 17,000 on Xbox, and over 20,000 on PlayStation. That is over 50,000 people achieving the highest, most elite rank in the game. If you use the exact numbers compared to the final season of Ranked 1.0, there was over 9.29 times the amount of champions. That's almost 10 times more. So now that everyone has taken over the next highest rank, what do you do with the players that were already at the highest rank? They're now drowning in fake champions, have nothing to work towards, and they kind of get screwed because now it's extremely easy for them to get to champion because they're getting blasted past it in their first 40 rank games. And that's exactly what happened to me. Not only is it far too easy, but it's almost meaningless and there's nowhere to go from there. So how do you solve this problem? Well, you add in a new top rank. An elite of the elites, which is exactly what Champion was originally made for in the first place, by the way. This would be different though, and this is how it would work. You take the top 500 or 1,000 champions, which are constantly changing as they play, and you give them a brand new shiny badge that shows that they've never touched grass and they're happy. That would make me happy at least, and I actually do touch grass once in a while, so imagine how it would make your average nocturnal gamer feel. It would get pretty filthy in there. So with Champ giving you a number, if you don't play for a week, for example, you might have 150 people pass you in RP, meaning your Champ rank would drop 150 places the next time you log on. So you could go from 500 to 650 Champ just from not playing the game. So with a new top rank working in this way, this would keep the top players, the best players, the most competitive players playing the game consistently and wanting to keep grinding for those top spots and ideally top rewards. This should be the rank that Ubisoft focuses on the most because that's the rank where the majority of players who play ranked are striving to be. If you're playing to win and rank up, you're trying to get better to get to the next new shiny rank. And once you work your way through all of those, you don't want it to be a disappointment at the end of all of it. That being said, there are a ton of players that play ranked casually, and that's totally fine, but they shouldn't be the focus group for ranked. That's where casual playlists come in. Those are made specifically for casual players, and that's also important. Casual players are very important for the game's longevity. But in the context of Rank 2.0 and this video, they're kind of irrelevant, I'm sorry. Ranked is the only competitive playlist in the game, and that should be the focus of it. Having the highest rank lack competitiveness should be a very serious concern. But the moral of the story is adding in this new rank, whether it be called Cataclysm or Challenger or Grand Champion or whatever you want to call it, it will promote a much more competitive environment in the highest rank in the game. Right now, you hit Champ, sure, you can try to push for number 1, but there's nothing in the game that's actually motivating you to do all that in terms of rewards. And yes, I consider getting a higher rank a reward even if it's not actually giving you anything. Realistically, it's the construct of it all, and we enjoy things based on our perception of how important they actually are. You get a shiny new rank, you perceive it as important and therefore feel rewarded for winning games and being one of the best. Your number changes by 10 when you win a game, not as exciting, not as rewarding, less likely that you're going to go back and play. Hence why 90% of my games this season were in the first 3 days, and the other 10% have been in the past few weeks. And the distinction there is I hit champion after 3 days of playing. So this is the main issue with Rank 2.0 right now, and I'm very sure this new elite rank will be added at some point in the near future. But until then, let's see what everyone else thinks about Rank 2.0. Now that it's had some time to settle in, is it actually better than Ranked 1.0? The system itself needs work, that's definitely true, but what are some complaints or criticisms the community has about it? I took to Twitter to get some of your guys' thoughts, Keep in mind, a lot of my Twitter is the competitive and high-ranked R6 community, so the poll itself is a little biased in that sense. One of the biggest trends I'm noticing throughout the comments, live streams, in my own experience, and this tweet even, is that the fluctuation of skill levels that you play against is extreme. For my game specifically, a large majority of them I'm playing against players of much lower skill. When checking their old 1.0 rank, it's typically gold, platinum, or diamond, with the rare exception of running into previously champion players. And this is also a problem for lower ranked players too. People who are in platinum and emerald are finding their ways into these lobbies, keeping in mind those people were most likely gold in ranked 1.0, which would make sense because if me, a top ranked champ, is playing golds, then golds are playing other top ranked champs and everything in between. On the contrary, there is one good thing about this, and it's that matchmaking is a lot quicker. As a top ranked player, you could be waiting 20 or 30 minutes in queue before you get a game, whereas now you can find matches in much less time, typically 2 to 5 minutes. So where is the balance here? If we don't match against lower ranks, we can't find matches, but if we do, we are ruining the experience for them. Ideally, these lower ranks are only playing top ranked players every once in a while, and then the majority of the matches are closer to their skill. But I don't really know, honestly. Let me know in the comments if you have a solution to this, because I think it's something Ubisoft could be potentially struggling with as well. Finding the perfect balance for that is not easy. The other thing about this is that in the old system, losing to a stack of champions when you're in plat only loses you a tiny amount of elo since they're so much higher ranked, whereas now with rank 2.0, you're losing the exact same amount of RP no matter who you play. Whether their hidden MMR or skill is way higher than yours or their rank is way higher, you lose the same amount of RP per game no matter who your opponents are. Yes, it does still affect your hidden MMR or your skill the same way as the previous rank system, but that isn't showing anywhere, and that visual disconnect is a very confusing thing for pretty much everyone, it seems. For example, if your hidden MMR is plat 3 and you play against a stack of hidden MMR champions, whether they're in copper or silver or gold at the time, it doesn't affect anything, you might not even know that they're champion level players. So let's say you lose to them and your hidden MMR only drops a tiny amount, meaning you'll probably still gain and lose about the same RP that you were previous to that match. But if you beat those players, your hidden MMR will jump up drastically, meaning following that match, your RP gains will be more and your RP losses will be less because the game is trying to match your rank to your hidden MMR, also known as your skill. So this double system that is completely hidden and working in the background is very, very confusing, especially for new players or people who don't watch the reveal trailers and have no idea how it actually works. All they see is that they're playing champions at the end of the game and they still lose just as much as the game before where they lost to people of their rank. And that can be a super frustrating experience and drive players away from the game. Having some sort of explanation in the ranked menu that goes into detail about how the hidden MMR works and makes it simple to understand would be fantastic, but as you can probably tell from me just explaining it here, it's not super simple, and that was just the simplified version without all the crazy Greek math. And the truth is, people want to know what's going on. People want to know what their skill level is, so that they know when they've improved or gotten worse. And the argument could be the same for beginners, but I know a lot of people do enjoy being able to shoot through the ranks and feel good about themselves and feel like there's progress being made. The reward system for rank 2.0 is also a great incentive for people to play and continue wanting to win and try hard, and I think that's something that would have been very successful in ranked 1.0 as well. So where are we at? In my honest opinion, Rank 2.0 is a closer resemblance to Unranked 2.0 with badges you get that are extreme approximations of your actual skill most of the time. Having a progression system in Unranked might be a better option for the casual players while providing them with incentives to play the game. I personally think Ranked should stay as competitive as possible, and Rank 2.0 has damaged the competitive ecosystem more so than it's benefited it. With that being said, I do have hope for Rank 2.0 in the future, and I'm sure Ubisoft will continue to improve upon it, like the slight changes that we saw this season, which again was just that you get closer to your hidden MMR quicker and then it drops off sooner once your rank catches up. But seriously guys, who's trying to get that Cataclysm rank in the game? Because that shit is hot! Okay, bye.